All right, Ms. Wurzberger, whenever you're ready.
Good morning, everyone in the room. Good morning, members of the board. Good morning, everyone watching on Charm TV. The March 27th, 2025 proceedings of the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City will now begin. Please take this opportunity to turn off or mute all of your electronics. Don't be that person whose phone goes off in the middle of testimony. Mr. Chair, there's just a few preliminary matters. If you're here for a particular case, please review the docket that is taped to the door, the entrance to this room, or come and check in with us at the dais. Case number 9 on today's docket has been postponed. That is Grace Pilot Jacobson Farrows Marine LLC, trading as Oasis Marina at Lighthouse Point, 2711. Application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service. Requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages. We are going to go a little bit out of order this morning to accommodate a couple of different things happening. One final announcement before we go into the docket. There is the monetary penalty in lieu of hearings in accordance with Section 12-2105A of the Maryland Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Article and Liquor Board Rule 2.16. The following licensees have participated in the monetary penalty in lieu of hearings program by voluntarily admitting the violations as charged and paying the corresponding fines. That is Lourdes Cancel and Gerver Contreras, Union Centro Americana LLC, trading as La Isla Taverna, 3230 East Fairmount Ave, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, violation of Rule 4.14, violation of Rule 3.081B, and violation of Rule 3.031 for a total fine paid of $1,300. Okay, we are going to call case number 10, Sapana, Donpali, and Sanjo Basil, 413 West Baltimore Street, LLC, trading as Baltimore Spice Restaurant and Bar, 413 West Baltimore Street. Amended application to transfer ownership and location of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 2148 through 52 Vine Street to 413 West Baltimore Street, requesting off-premises catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Stephen W. Fogum on behalf of the applicant. Happy spring, happy opening day. Commissioners, good to see you as well. This case is a redo, so to speak. It's an amended application. They were previously approved for the transfer of this BD7 from Vine Street to 413 West Baltimore Street. Last time I shared with you a menu showing their biryanis, their tandoors, and their straight out of Kathmandu section. I only have one menu today. I don't know if it remained in your file or not, but I'm happy to.
We do have a menu.
You do have a menu. I'm happy to submit it just for the.
It'll be received.
To Ms. Russell as well.
So everything is the same except the applicants?
The applicants are the same, well, no, what we have here is Sapana Donpali did own 95%. She now owns 40%. And Sanyol Basel, who's here today behind me, now has 60%.
So there was a change in the ownership?
Yes.
And that's the reason for the amended complaint?
That's exactly the reason.
But otherwise, everything remains the same
Everything
from our
remains
prior
the same.
approval?
Yes, and as you may remember, Ms. Donpali has restaurant experience in the Indian restaurant industry, and Mr. Basel has liquor store alcohol management experience as well. So.
And everybody's going to be certified?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything further?
No.
All right. On the basis of the materials contained in the amended application, the proffer from council, I vote to approve this amended application to transfer ownership and location of this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 2148 to 52 Vine Street to 413 West Baltimore Street with off-premises catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Yes, based on material, testimony, and letter from the attorney, I also vote to approve the amended application to transfer ownership and location of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located 2148 through 52 Vine Street to 413 West Baltimore Street, and a request for off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
It's based on the amended application materials, the proffer made by council, and the exhibit that was entered today. I vote to approve this amended application transfer ownership and location of this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, presently located at 214852 Vine Street to 413 West Baltimore Street, with off-premises catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Ms. Russell?
I'd like to close this for the record. Board Exhibit 1, menu.
Thank you. Good
Thank you
luck.
for the courtesy as well.
Safe
Appreciate it.
travels.
Thank you.
Okay, case number 2, Jamie L. Balbuena,
Since you
Bravo.
don't- Aren't we going to call the, do we not have approval? I'm sorry.
Good morning.
Okay, we'll go back. Okay. Just a little confusion with the docket, but we're okay.
Okay, back on the record. I don't think I read the whole caption, so I'm going to start over just to preserve the record. Case number 2, Jamie L. Balbuena, Bravo, and Alejo J. Martinez, El Oasis Restaurant y Discotheque, Inc., trading as El Oasis Restaurant y Discotheque, 3919 through 21 Eastern Avenue, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, violation of Rule 3.12, general welfare on October 19, 2024, loud music, violation of Rule 3.092, restroom facilities and health regulations on October 19, 2024, violation of Baltimore City Health Code, Section 9-3062, little I, and violation of Rule 3.081B, sanitation and safety on October 19th, individual smoking hookah inside the establishment in violation of the Maryland Code, Health and General, Maryland Health Code General, Section 12-504, also known as the Clean Indoor Act. Please come forward.
Good morning.
Good morning, Frank Shawless representing the licensee.
Good morning. Are these going to be admissions or denials, Mr. Shawless?
We're pleading no contest, Your Honor,
Well, then everyone, please raise
with
your
an
right hands.
explanation.
Please raise your right hands if you're going to testify.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Do you want us to put on our case?
I'd like to, no, you don't have to put on the case. I'll make a proffer.
Okay.
The proffer is this. We were here not too long ago. I'm not sure the date, and you showed great consideration for my client. It was on October the 10th was the hearing date, I believe.
Correct.
And after that hearing date, on October the 19th, this violation was charged. A lot of things happened. My client, as you remember from the last hearing, he did many renovations to his property to alleviate the problem. His manager was here, and his manager stood here and said everything, and he was going to straighten it out. And we put noise devices and controls and decimeters and everything into place. Made an honest effort. Now, Mr. Martinez is the licensee, but he lives over in Greenbelt, and he comes into the place to check it out frequently. But he had a manager in there that didn't advise him on that this occurrence had happened on October the 19th. And he came checking, and everything seemed to be okay. Even the gentleman there, I think it was this gentleman, said that they had been by and he had been complying. So he didn't know about this incident that had happened on the 19th of October. When he did find out, he went to the establishment and he talked to his manager and said, this can't go on. After that, he went back to the establishment and his manager had absconded, and I won't say he took it or anything, but all the stuff was gone.
Oh, what stuff?
All of his inventory, all of his equipment, musical equipment, everything. So since that time, he has been there every week managing it himself. He also tried to ameliorate the sound of the music by blocking up the back windows, which had been open, and he thought that would help, and apparently it has. I don't think that anybody has had any complaint. Now, this is a C2 commercial area. There's buses going up and down there. There's no, I've been down there. I've lived in that area all my life, just about. And there's not any residential down there. You have buses, tractor trailers. There's a lot of noise on Eastern Avenue in that particular area because it's the commercial area. They have numerous restaurants. They have other bars. But he is doing everything that he possibly can to make sure that nothing like this happens again. And now he is personally taking care of it. He doesn't have a manager there now. He does it. And as a matter of fact, I was just informed that inspectors want to go there and inspect tomorrow, and no problem. He's going to be there to help them inspect whatever they want. He had no knowledge whatsoever that there was any hookah business going in there or anything. And he's tried to clean up the place for whatever violation the sanitation was. But again, it's a C2 area. Now, in addition to that, because of the immigration thing going on in our country, his business has dropped down almost 50%. He's suffering financially. And I know you gave him consideration last time, and I understand, but he's a businessman trying to make it. He came back in. I don't know how loud the sound is, 328 foot from the premises with the doors closed, but I don't know if there's anybody that actually is a resident and lives there within 328 foot of the place.
Someone's complaining.
I don't know who complains.
Well,
I really don't.
That's why we went there, because of the complaints.
Well, I understand, but who?
I don't
Who?
know.
I know, and neither do we. Or we would try to talk to him and address his concerns. So I only ask that you give him a little further consideration and give him time to exercise his authority over the place and get it done right. Thank you.
Agent Perez, have you been back there?
Not since this violation.
Have had any further complaints about the?
I don't recall we have received any more complaints after this October 19th complaint.
Okay. So, Mr. Shawless, I hear what you're saying, but he knows that it's his responsibility.
Absolutely.
He was sort of an absentee owner for a period. He's got a terrible record. He's been before the board numerous times. And he's had this license since '05, so for 20 years, hadn't straightened anything out. You know, you can't keep coming in here saying the dog ate my homework.
Well, I understand that, but then again, Your Honor, who's complaining? You know, in this country, we're supposed to have the right to face our accusers. Is one person constantly complaining about this?
I don't know, but when the
No, I
complaint
don't
was
either.
made and we inspected, it turned out to be accurate. So
Well-
that's the problem. Anyway, commissioners have questions?
No, I just want to state, it's a privilege to have a license, and he understands that.
He understands the privilege, and that's why he's back there taking care of it now. And even though he has to travel great distance, and even though it interferes with his other business interests, he's addressing these problems. He's addressed them all along. He spent a lot of money the first time with the soundproofing. Then he went back when he found out about this and his manager took off. He went back and he blocked up the windows. And, he's trying everything that he can.
Any questions?
No questions.
All right, anything further?
No.
Do you have anything further about this?
I don't.
You?
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the charging documents, the proffers from counsel and testimony received, I find a violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, violation of Rule 3.09, Small 2, Restroom Facilities and Health Regulations, violation of Rule 3.08, Small 1B, Sanitation and Safety. On October 19, 2024, on the basis of the record, there's not a lot of leeway we can give. I'd impose a $1,000 fine as to each one for a total of $3,000. I give them 30 days to pay.
Thank you.
Commissioners?
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, I also agree with the chair's findings, a violation of 3.12 general welfare, $1,000 fine, violation of Rule 3.092, restroom facilities and health regulations, the fine of $1,000, and violation of Rule 3.081B, sanitation and safety, a fine of $1,000.
Based on the charging documents properly made by counsel and any testimony that we received today, I also agree there was a violation of Rule 3.12 General Welfare, violation of Rule 3.092 Restroom Facilities, and a violation of Rule 3.081B Sanitation and Safety. All were done on October 19, 2024. I agree with the chairman. But I fine $1,000 for each of those violations, $3,000 total, 30 days of pay.
Ms. Russell?
Like exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Ellis, 2 through 3, photos 4, map 5, service request summary, dated 10/18/24.
Thank you, Ms. Chawlas. Good luck, folks.
Thank you very much.
We're going to continue to go out of order. We're going to call case number 14, Wayne Lang, Perkersdorf LLC, trade name pending, 4001 Falls Road, rear unit. Application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license under the provisions of Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Article Section 12-1603, C1 to little I, requiring $200,000 in capital investment in restaurant fixtures and facilities and seating capacity for a minimum of 75 people, requesting outdoor table service and off-premises catering. Please come forward.
Good morning. Is Ms. Coe, are you going to enter your appearance, ma'am?
What number is that? 14?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Would you counsel identify themselves for the record, please?
Thank you. Peter Previs on behalf of the applicant, Mr. Wayne Lang, who is to my right.
Good morning.
Denise Coe with Community Law Center for Hamden Community Council.
So you are going to enter your appearance in this case on their behalf?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, we appreciate that. Having had some conference with counsel and the parties previously, we're going to continue this case to our hearing date of April 24, and we will see you back then, okay? And you'll submit something in response to his motion?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mr.
it.
Chairman.
Thank you.
Okay. We're also continuing to go out of order. We're going to call case number 4, Andrew Lanzinski and Lonnie Shawless, Crockett and Tubbs, Inc., trading as Nola Seafood and Spirits, 32 through 36 East Cross Street, Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license, violation of Rule 4.011, sales to minors, on October 10, 2024, sale of alcohol to a minor. Please come forward.
Is the licensee here?
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
The commission, please. Frank Chalice representing the licensee.
Good morning. Is this going to be admission or denial?
This will be an admission.
Okay. Do you want to tell us what happened on October 10th?
Yes, a mistake was made. As you can see, this place has been open a while. No violations. It's a well-run place. Everybody's alcohol certified. It was just one of those things. And it won't happen again. Believe me, it won't happen again.
Is the licensee related to you?
I'm sorry.
Are you related to the licensee?
Well, one of them, yes.
How are you related as well?
My brother.
Oh, okay. So you can speak to him, right?
I'm sorry, sir.
You'll talk to him, I hope.
Oh, I'll talk to him. I'll talk to the other guys and the people, too.
Okay.
Already have.
Are they cooperative?
Yes, they were.
Okay. All right, commissioners have any questions?
No question.
No questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis then of the materials contained in the charging documents, the proffer from counsel, including the admission, I find a violation of Rule 4.01, small 1, sale to minor on October 10, 2024. I impose a $500 fine and give them 30 days to pay.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, I also agree with the chair's findings of violation of Rule 4.011, sale to minors, with a fine of $500.
Yeah, based on the charging documents, proffer made by counsel, also agree that there was a violation of Rule 4.011, sale to minors, on October 10, 2024, $500 fine, 30 days to pay.
Ms. Russell?
Like those exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Jordan.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Case number 5, Steve A. McMurray, St. Mary's Liquors LLC, trading as St. Mary's Restaurant and Bar, 120 West 25th Street, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, on February 2, 2025, loud music. Violation of Rule 3.092, restroom facilities and health regulations, on February 2, 2025. Violation of Baltimore City Health Code, Section 9-3062, little I. Please come forward.
Good morning. Are you Mr. McMurray, sir?
Yes,
Can you step up to the mic so we can hear you? And who's with you this morning?
it's my wife.
Okay, good morning. Would you all raise your right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Mr. McMurray, you know that you've been charged with 2 violations on February 2. Do you wish to admit them and then explain, or deny them and have us have a hearing?
We wish to admit that.
Okay. Well, you can tell us what happened on that date,
Well,
if you want to explain.
yes.
Yes, we
Go.
do. On that day,
Can you tell us your first name, please?
Kadeen, K-A-D-N-E.
You got to come up and speak up a little bit.
Kadeen.
We're on the record here.
Sorry, Kadeen. Yes. on that-
McMurray is your last name?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Name for the record again.
Kadeen McMurray,
Sid, spell it, please.
K-A-D-E-N-E.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So on that day, we had an event where we were encountered by Mr. Zane. He advised us that the music was too loud outside and we needed to turn it down. However, we acknowledged what he said and we went upstairs and turned it down.
Okay. Is that accurate?
Yes, they were very
State your name, please.
Inspector Zane Nazir, and yes, they were very cooperative.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No question.
No questions.
Ms. McMurray, do you want to add anything else?
No.
Okay. So you've had this license since '01, is that right? 25 years almost now. And the last offense was back in '08. So on the basis of the materials contained in the charging documents and the testimony received, I find a violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, and a violation of Rule 3.09, Small 2, Restroom Facilities and Health Regulations, both on February 2, 2025. I'd impose a $250 fine as to each and give you 30 days to pay.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, I also agree with the chair's findings, a violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, with a fine of $250, and also the violation of Rule 3.092, Restroom Facilities and Health Regulations, with a fine of $250.
Based on the testimony given today, I also find a violation in the charging documents, find a violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, and a violation of Rule 3.092, Restroom Facilities and Health Regulations, both on February 2nd, 2025. I also agree with the chairman, $250 fine for each and 30 days to pay.
Ms. Russell?
Like call exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Nazir. 2, service request summary dated 2/1/25.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. McMurray. Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Case number 6, Amar Chantil, I apologize, and Uma Chantel Ganesh Bagwa, Inc., trading as Mount Everest Restaurant, 1011 West 36th Street, Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 4.181, alterations on January 21, 2025, having set up a bar in an unlicensed part of the establishment without approval, and violation of Rule 4.182, alterations on that same date, January 21, 25, setting up a bar on the second floor in violation of the fire permit that expressly forbids patrons to be on the second floor. Please come forward.
Good morning.
Good morning. Abraham Hurdle on behalf of the licensee. This is going to be an admission with mitigation.
Okay, go ahead.
We've been trying to clarify what the issue was in some capacity. My client bought the restaurant, and it looks like 14 or 15, with everything kind of going through sometime in 16. We have a use draft from 16 that indicates first and second floor for a restaurant. What I can piece together, having not had the chance to really dig into this too much, is that the location was previously licensed on the first and second floor. When this use permit was inspected, it appears that the fire department indicated that the occupancy couldn't support the seating on the second floor. As a result, they no longer seat patrons on the second floor, but the bar remained. And the fire department told them, perhaps somewhat outside their scope, that they could continue preparing drinks at this bar, which has always been in place, on the second floor and bring them downstairs. However, the liquor license reflects first floor only, which means you can't have liquor on the second floor. You can't have a bar, whether you seat patrons or not, on the second floor. So there's no question there is a violation of the liquor license. I think there's some confusion on my client's part, because when he got the restaurant, it was first and second floor use permit. Well, the use draft that I have clearly reflects first and second floors, restaurant, beer, wine, liquor, basement for storage. My anticipation is they're also storing liquor on the second floor where they're presumably not supposed to. We're going to resolve that with a letter this week for the storage, and we're going to see what we can do about getting the bar, I guess it's a service bar, permitted on the second floor. This was an accident. I think they've been operating this way, from my understanding, basically 8 years since he took over, in violation, because the liquor license, again, only reflects the first floor. No patrons have been seated up there. There's no indication from the report that I read that there were patrons. I've represented this client either against him as the landlord's agent in this location or for him in the past, probably 7 or 8 years. And I've never had any indication to believe that what he's told me has been incorrect. So I don't think this is a situation where there's people on the second floor sometimes and conveniently not that day. It's just a service bar, shouldn't be there. We're going to get that fixed.
And this was just a routine inspection?
Yes, we were conducting a routine inspection that
Just
day.
identify yourself for the record.
Inspector Jordan.
Okay. Because nobody called, or there was no complaint or anything.
No, there was no complaint.
Okay. The commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis then of the materials contained in the charging documents and the proffer from counsel, including the admissions and testimony received, find a violation of Rule 4.18, small 1, alterations, and a violation of Rule 4.18, small 2, alterations, both on January 21, 2025. I think there is some failure of communication here. So I'd impose $100 fine as to each and give them 30 days to pay.
Mr. Chair, it's fine $500 for each?
100.
100?
Yes.
Each, okay. Thank you. Based on materials, testimony provided today, I also agree with the chair's findings of violation of Rule 4.18, alterations with a fine of $100, and also violation of Rule 4.182, alterations with a fine of $100.
Based on the charging documents proffer made by counsel today, with the admission, I also find there's a violation of Rule 4.181, alterations, and a violation of Rule 4.182, alterations, all on January 21st, 2025. I agree with the chairman also. and fine $100 for each of those, 30 days of pay.
Ms. Russell?
I call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Jordan, 2 through 4, photos.
Thank you, Commissioners. May I be
Thank you.
excused? Thank you.
Case 7, Matthew Lazinski, Acrostic Enterprises, Inc., trading as Sopro, 3000 through 3002 O'Donnell Street, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license violation of Rule 4.181, alterations on December 2nd, 2024. Having found that alterations have been made without permission, please come forward.
Morning.
The commission, please. Frank Shawless, representing the licensee.
Admission or denial, Mr. Scholes?
Well, I no contest in this one either,
All right,
but I sure would like to be heard on it.
go ahead.
My client apologizes for this egregious violation of the rules. But it's got to be put on me because it was the ignorance of his attorney that caused it. He went out and he got permits for every piece of work that was done in there and had it inspected by the city, including the fire department, health department, building department, electrical department, plumbing department. And his attorney told him, being me, that after it was finished, to let me know, and we would notify the liquor board of the new floor plan. I've since learned that I should have done that at the beginning and sent in a set of plans. So it's on me. But this place pays close to $200,000 a year in taxes and fees to the state and city. This isn't a very business-friendly thing to do when all he was doing was enhancing the place and the experience of the customers. And instead of drinking over in this corner, they went to this corner. So my ignorance aside, does that really constitute a violation for a place that has never had any? I think they've been
Here's one.
open almost all they did.
Yeah, had a violation back in '23,
I don't recall that, and I represent them all the time.
but generally been good.
Yeah, they try to be good. They do their best.
Ever have any problems with them?
No, they were cooperative that day.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, thank you. Based on the materials contained in the charging documents, the proffer from counsel, including the no contest admission and testimony received, I find a violation of Rule 4.18, small 1, alterations on December 2, 2024. I'd impose a $100 fine and give them 30 days to pay.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, I also agree with the chair's findings, a violation of Rule 4.181, alterations with a fine of $100.
Based on the charging documents, proffer made by counsel, and any testimony received today, I also find a violation of Rule 4.181, alterations, fine $100, 30 days of pay.
Ms. Russell?
I call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit Number 1, violation report, Agent Tudhope, 2 through 5, photos.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Case number 8, Gustavo A. Alarson, Gus's Sports Bar, Inc., trading as Gus's Sports Bar, 501 South Lehigh Street, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, on January 17, 2025, loud music. Violation of Rule 3.092, Restroom Facilities and Health Regulation, on January 17, 2025. Violation of Baltimore City Health Code, Section 9-3062, little I. Violation of Rule 3.081D, Sanitation and Safety, on January 17, 2025, locked emergency exit. Violation of Rule 3.081B, Sanitation and Safety, on January 17, 2025, individual smoking hookah inside of the establishment in violation of the Clean Indoor Act. Violation of Rule 4.14, live entertainment without authorization, on January 17, 2025, engaging in live entertainment without authorization. On violation of Rule 3.082, on January, sanitation and safety, on January 26, 2025, failing to keep garbage containers covered. Violation of Rule 4.081, relations with wholesalers on January 26, 2025, purchasing alcohol from an establishment that is not a licensed manufacturer or wholesaler. And finally, violation of Rule 4.05, prohibited hours on February 22, 2025, operating after legal hours of operation. Please come forward.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you Mr. Alarcon?
Yes.
And you are?
Miss Alarcon, Christine Alarcon.
Okay. Good morning. Would you raise your right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give in the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, so, folks, you've heard the charges. There are a total of 5 violations on January 17, 2 on January 26, and 1 on February 22. Do you wish to admit or deny the violations?
I don't know how to say this. Yes. We'll admit to it because we don't know what happened.
All right. Well, if you don't know, how are you going to explain it to us?
I'm going to explain what happened before that.
Go ahead.
So what happened was we've been having problems since August. The problem being my husband. His mother is ill. He is an only child, so he had to start taking care of his mother, back and forth to Silver Spring. He's closed the bar a lot. Then one of his cousins, who lived in New York, moved to Baltimore and said that they'll help him take care of the bar while he was taking care of his mother. In the process, his mother had passed, so he had a lot of depression, so his cousin ran the bar for him. She knew exactly how to run a bar because she worked at a bar, and we called all the time, making sure everything was okay. She would always say everything's fine. We did not know all this took place until we received this letter stating that we had to come here. The only thing we do know is of February is that's when my husband was feeling better and he started going back to the bar and taking care of the bar. That was the first night that he went back and all of his friends were happy to see him, and one drink led after another, and that's what happened that one.
So,
Oh, and the trash. I have pictures of the trash, okay? The people in the neighborhood put their trash in front of our doors, our bar, in behind, and I have pictures of it just last week. During this process, my husband did go over there and just check out everything and found trash. He cleaned it up, took it to the dump. 3 days later, the trash was back there again. There's spray painted signs on the walls, no dumping, no dumping, you're on camera. And just 2 days ago, we took a picture and it's a lot back there. But it's not in front of ours, it's directly across ours.
okay. So, Agent Perez, when you've gone there, who was running the place?
So on January 17th, it was, give me one moment. Irma Claros Padilla was the person operating the establishment.
Is that the cousin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And who went there on the 26th? That was you, and who was operating it then?
Miss Irma Padilla.
Okay. And Agent Perez, you and Inspector Myers-Bass were there on the 22nd of February?
That's correct.
And Mr. Alarcon was there?
Mr. Alarcon was present that night.
Okay. All right. When you spoke with Ms. Padilla, did she explain that she was running the place for him?
Not at all. She just identified herself as a manager.
Okay. Okay, and you all have had this place since 2021, and you had one violation back in '23, but you weren't having problems until all this.
Correct.
So what's going on right now?
Right now, he's taking care of the bar himself. We have, the only problems that we're having now is still the trash that the people are putting in front of the bar that we have to constantly remove or wait until, because it's a lot. It's a whole lot. Like I said, I have pictures of it. We've posted signs, which they have removed. The spray paint is still on the wall saying the no dumping. The only other issue is our neighbor. Our neighbor is the one who is constantly calling and complaining of loud music. However, what we have done is we put more insulation on the doors, on the walls, put insulation on the door, also added a second door so there's no noise coming out. But they're still calling. And they're constantly calling. And every time that they come out, the liquor board comes out, they don't hear it outside. Other than that, everything's fine.
So the only time, well, there was a form, in 23, there was a general welfare. I don't know if that was noise or not. But the only noise one here was on January 17th, is that correct?
Yeah, I believe the prior violation was for noise as well.
Yeah.
I do have to say that when Mr. Alarcon is on site, we never have issues. It's when someone else is operating the establishment.
So is the cousin gone?
She's gone.
Okay. And how many people work there?
Just him.
Oh.
And sometimes I will help him out, or one of my children will help him out.
Okay.
It's a small place. It only has 40 people. We're only allowed 40 people in there, so he doesn't really need much help.
Okay. Commissioners have questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right. Okay, thank you, Ms. Alarcon. I appreciate your explanation. We do have the violation, so we have to act. So on the basis of the materials contained in the charging documents and the testimony received, I find violations of Rule 3.12, 3.092, 3.081D, 3.081B, and 414 on January 17, 2025. Violation of Rule 3.082 on sanitation and safety, and 4.081, relations with wholesalers on January 26, 2025, and a violation of Rule 4.05, prohibited hours on February 22, 2025. I don't know what you're going to do about the trash thing, but you're going to have to work something out about that, maybe hire some other process to help you with it. But I'd impose $50 fines as to each of the violations. I think that comes to about a $400 fine, and give you 30 days to pay.
Thank you.
Yes. Based on materials, testimony provided today, I also agree with the chair's findings. A violation of Rule 3.12, general welfare, with a fine of $50. Violation of Rule 3.092, restroom facilities and health regulations, fine of $50. Violation of Rule 3.081D, sanitation and safety, with a fine of $50. Violation of Rule 3.081B, sanitation and safety, fine of $50, and violation of Rule 4.14, live entertainment without authorization, with a fine of $50.
That's just on that first date,
Yeah.
January 17th. There are others.
What is that again?
You only did January 17th. We have the other violations as well.
Oh, 26?
Yes.
Yeah, same way, $50. Violation of Rule 4.05, prohibited hours, $50.
And that's on February 22.
When February 26.
2.
Okay?
Okay.
Did you get all of them?
I'm not sure.
I think the violation of Rule 4.081 on January 26th.
Violation of Rule
The one at the bottom of the first page.
4.081, relations with wholesalers, fine of $50.
Go ahead.
Based on the testimony given today and the charging documents, I also find that there were a violation of Rules 3.12, general welfare, violation of Rule 3.092, restroom facilities and health regulations, violation of Rule 3.081D, sanitation and safety, violation of Rule 3.081B, sanitation and safety, and a violation of Rule 4.14, live entertainment without authorization. All those are on January 17th, 2025. Also a violation of Rule 3.082, sanitation and safety, and a violation of Rule 4.081, relations with wholesalers. Those two were on January 26th, 2025, and a violation of Rule 4.05, prohibited hours on February 22nd, 2025. I also agree with the chairman. and issue a $50 fine and 30 days of pay.
Thank you. Ms. Russell?
Plaintiff exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Agent Perez. 2, service request summary dated 1/17/25. 3, service request summary dated 1/17/25. 4, violation report, Agent Tudhope. 5 through 6, photos. 7, service request summary dated 1/26/25. 8, violation report, Agent Perez. 9, service request summary dated 2/22/25.
Okay, thank you. Good luck, folks.
I have one question. What was wrong with the restroom?
I'm not sure.
Can you all take her in the back and speak with her,
Thank
please?
you.
All right, we're moving to case number 11. Mario R. Bellotti, AM Food and Beverage Company LLC, trading as the Atrium Tavern, 2522 Washington Boulevard. Application to transfer ownership and location of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 1525 Ramsey Street to 2522 Washington Boulevard. Requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages, please come forward.
Good morning. Sir, are you
evening,
Mr.
Commissioner.
Bellotti?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first name's Mario.
Yes, sir.
Would you raise your right hand, please?
Is there anyone else going to be testifying?
Why don't you raise your right hands, all of you, in case there's,
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
okay, Mr. Bellotti, go ahead, tell us about this.
Yes, Mario Belletti, representing A&M Food and Beverage Company LLC, trading as the Atrium Tavern. Transfer of ownership and location of a Class BD7 license presently located at 1525 Ramsey Street to 2522 Washington Boulevard, requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages on the premises.
Yeah, so what's going on? You're moving, obviously.
I'm actually purchasing the liquor license from the owners at Ramsey Street
Okay,
and opening it up at 2522 Washington Boulevard.
okay. Is that the main reason for this? Okay,
Yes, sir, it is.
all right. And has that deal gone through?
Yes, it is.
You settled on it? Okay. And tell me, what is your experience in the liquor business?
I've been in the business since 1994 as a bartender.
Okay. And are you alcohol certified?
Yes, I am, sir.
And how many people are going to be working for you?
I'm going to try to hire 8 people, 3 in the kitchen, 3 bartenders, and 2 servers.
And will the bartenders be certified as well?
Yes, we're going to be tip certified, sir.
Okay. And you're familiar with our rules and regulations?
Yes, sir.
Where did you work before?
I'm currently working at the Water Street Tavern at 110 Water Street.
Okay. This place had a violation back in 2020, but I don't think it's had a very bad record. So you're going to maintain that, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners have questions?
No, just for a fact, I was a licensee at that location some years back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no questions for me.
And that violation was from the previous owner, not this gentleman, I think.
No, not me. Not me. No, I wasn't.
I don't think it was 2020. It wasn't you. Appreciate it. Yes, I understand. All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application and the testimony received, I vote to approve this application to transfer ownership and location of this BG7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 1525 Ramsey Street to 2522 Washington Boulevard with delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Yes, based on materials testimony provided today, I also vote to approve the application to transfer ownership and location of Class BD7 beer, wine, liquor license presently located at 1525 Ramsey Street to 2522 Washington Boulevard and requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Based on the application materials and the testimony heard today, I also vote to approve this application to transfer ownership and location of this BD7BWL license presently located at 1525 Ramsey Street to 2522 Washington Boulevard with the delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, good luck, Mr. Blades.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Case 12, Iris Yaneth Argueta Marquez, Union Centro Americana LLC, trading as La Isla, 3230 East Fairmount Ave, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Gary Maslin on behalf of the applicants. This is a request to transfer an existing license She's purchased the membership interest of the LLC. And
When you say she, you mean,
Iris.
okay.
And,
That is the woman behind you?
Yeah, this is Iris, yes.
Okay.
And this gentleman purchased the other 50% of the LLC.
And that's Mr. Marquez?
No, Aguilar. That's actually my son, but he couldn't be here.
No, it's his son. He's representing his son. Sorry,
Okay.
got confused there. This is a alcohol awareness certificate from Iris. And everyone who works in this, it's a very small place, but everyone who works there, the barmaids, including his son, will all be alcohol awareness trained. She purchased the building, and she's joining the community association. She's going to have a substantial investment in that community, and she's looking forward to taking this over and making it a better place than what it was.
Yeah, it didn't have a great record, but it hasn't had any violations since 16. So commissioners have any questions?
No question.
No questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application and the proffer from council, any testimony received, I vote to approve this application to transfer ownership of this BG7 beer, wine, and liquor license.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, I also vote to approve the application to transfer ownership.
Based on the application materials and the proffer made by council and the exhibit that was entered today, I also vote to approve this application and transfer ownership of this Class BD7 beer, wine, liquor license.
Ms. Russell?
Mike Elizabeth, for the
Thank you very
record, Board
much.
Exhibit
Thank you
number
very
1, alcohol awareness certification.
Thank you. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Mr. Maslin? Yeah. What was your client's first name? Aguilar? You can go and call.
We are going to go back to case number 3. That is Joyce Young, 316 through 318 Guilford Avenue, LLC, trading as Iconic. Assembly Room, 316 to 18 Guilford Avenue, Class B beer, wine, and liquor arena license. Violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare on October 7, 2024, loud music. And violation of Rule 3.092, restroom facilities and health regulations on October 7, 2024. Violation of Baltimore City Health Code 9-30621, Little I. Please come forward.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Previs on behalf of Iconic. With me here today is Ms. Tracy Stafford, who is the day in and day out operator.
Will this be admissions or denials?
It's going to be an admission.
All right. Want to tell us what happened?
Sure. If you look at the docket, you'll see that we were here on October 10th, and there were violations for the same noise issue for the upper deck on July 27, August 31, and September 1. It was on September 28th, and apparently didn't make the cut for the October 10th date. That would have, should have, could have been included on that date. What Ms. Stafford indicates that she was there at the time. She spoke with Ms. Tudhope. There was some type of event on the deck, and the DJ was kind of getting loud and maybe had a drink or two that he shouldn't have, and she shut him down right away and told him, you can't be doing this stuff. You haven't been open, it's been winter time, so it hasn't been open, there hasn't been anything. Weather's going to start to get nice. So the board had provided us with a location where they've indicated that they've done a phenomenal job with sound deadening on the outside. So she and I are going to go take a look at that and see what we can do so that this summer is not as eventful as last summer was.
It'd be too expensive.
Yeah. So
Okay.
in light of the prior fines, I ask you that you keep it along the lines of what it was, that this just didn't make it into that hearing date, but it would have been included.
Was she cooperative?
She was.
Okay. And you haven't been back?
No, I just responded to 311 that night.
Okay. Commissioners have questions?
No question.
No questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the charging documents, the proffer from counsel, including the admissions and testimony received, I find a violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, and a violation of 3.09, Small 2, Restroom Facilities and Health Regulations, both on September 28, 2024. I'd impose a $200 fine as to each and give her 30 days to pay.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, I also agree with the chair's findings. A violation of Rule 3.12, general welfare, with a fine of $200, and a violation of Rule 3.092, restroom facilities and health regulations, with a fine of $200.
Based on the charging documents and proffer made by council today, I also agree with the chair on this and issue a violation of Rule 3.12, general welfare, and a violation of Rule 3.092, restroom facilities. And both of these happen on September 28, 2024. Issue a $200 fine for each.
Ms. Russell?
Like exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit number 1, violation report, Agent Tudhope. 2, service request summary report dated 9/28/24.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, final case for the day, case number 13, Malcolm H. Delaney and Anthony Fitzgerald, So Baltimore LLC, trading as So Baltimore Sports Bar and Grill, 3734 Fleet Street, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Request to add live entertainment and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward.
For the record, Melvin J. Kaninsky, representing the applicant in this case.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Denise Coe from Community Law Center, and I'm here with Brewers Hill Neighbors, Inc.
Good morning. I want to be clear about, because I saw some of the materials here. So they're before us this morning on their request to add live entertainment.
Yes.
I think there were ancillary issues that your clients wanted to raise, which aren't really before us this morning on this issue. But we are in the protest of renewal season, and they would be more properly addressed in a protest, which there is still time to file. So I'm not really prepared to address all those other issues today, but I will hear everybody on the live entertainment issue, which the zoning board has already addressed, but
Yeah, we are here mainly for two reasons. It is the noise, and there have been violations on the record where doors have been opened and entertainment has occurred, and there's 2 violations on the record of live entertainment without authorization, and it's happened on multiple occasions, as evidenced by the screenshots in the exhibits.
yeah, but before you go there, I'm fine on the live entertainment. Let me just talk to him first,
Yes.
okay? Are you,
Yeah, this is a request for live entertainment, as the board would remember that there were, this license was transferred, and they wanted to have live entertainment, and of course, it wasn't added to the license. It's in the C2 area, which is a conditional use.
It's actually a C1 area, excuse me, but it's evidenced.
Well, since the property is located
And I
in the
submitted-
C2, I'm telling you what the resolution says.
And planning and the BMZA, it's, the notice of appeal clearly states C1. That is not correct.
whatever.
I addressed it. It's a C1.
Well, you'll get your chance.
Okay.
Let Mr. Koniecki finish.
They went to the zoning board and had a hearing, all the same issues that were brought up in the videos and so forth. And the board at that point approved the resolution for live entertainment as a conditional use, with conditions that the live entertainment was limited to the hours of between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m.
And I think that the doors have to be closed. and-
Yeah, the same thing, and the only thing, I'm going to beat the thing to death, but I think that the board listened to the community's concerns, as indicated on page 3, about the existing tavern were valid and understandable. However, the board concluded that these concerns did not present strong and substantial evidence showing a tavern with accessory live entertainment would have adverse effect among those already inherently associated with bars and restaurants and taverns, and that if there were anything, they would be addressed through any violations that would be passed.
I read the zoning board.
Yeah, and should I submit as an exhibit, or do you?
Is this your exhibit?
I don't know. No, that's the, I don't think that's mine.
No, I don't think so either. Go ahead.
And so, I mean, I have extra copies. If you have a copy, everybody has a copy of the zoning board.
It's all in our
Okay.
packet, so we have it.
And in addition to that, when they got the approval from the zoning board, which was back in September 20th of '24, they didn't understand they needed a board's approval. We had those 2 hearings. That's already been addressed in the case.
I understand.
So therefore, they are now coming back and requesting the live entertainment. And I've reviewed all the documents that were been submitted. A lot of that was at the same thing in front of the zoning board. I have a couple people that are sent in, and I think I gave you, did you get them? I sent to you?
Yes.
Yeah, and I have one more, I'll just give this back to you, of people who are in favor, and I'll just have Mr. Delaney testify fairly briefly, if I can. This is, I know that you have some that Ms. Coe is going to give you. These are people who are in favor. I got one for each of you. I'm sorry.
This will be received, let's swear everybody, okay?
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give in the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And you want to step up here?
Can you identify yourself for the record, sir?
Malcolm Delaney.
Delaney?
Yeah.
Good morning. Go ahead, Mr.
All right, now, Mr. Delaney, you were a licensee here for the past 3 years, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and what was your profession prior to buying this establishment?
Professional basketball player.
And where'd you play basketball? I mean, if anybody,
Everywhere. Atlanta Hawks in 9 countries in Europe.
all right, and as after that, you went ahead and you owned the property here also, is that correct?
Yes, I purchased the property a year before we opened.
All right, and then you maintain the business there and have events there, and to be competitive with businesses around there, you decided you want to have some form of live entertainment, is that correct?
Yeah.
And then as a result of which we went to the zoning appeals board, correct?
Yes.
And there was a long 2-hour hearing, and as a result, the board gave you the resolution, and you agreed, part of the conditional use, that you would have live entertainment between the hours of only 6 and 11.
Yes, that was the agreement.
And you would agree to abide by that resolution, because that's the conditional use, that's the only time you can use it.
Yeah, we actually stopped at 10
Okay.
for the benefit of the community. We never went to 11 with anything or tried to go to 11 with anything. We would always stop earlier.
All right, and then as a result of that, do you have security at your location?
Yes, our head security is U.S. Marshal, and my GM and co-owner works for the government too, federal government.
And you understand that there's some of the community across the street and around there have some disapproval of your request for live entertainment, is that correct?
Yeah, we've never been supported by the community.
Are they any of your customers?
No.
All right. So what are your customers mainly? Where do they come from? I said you have the Runners Club and so forth that was submitted. What else do you have?
Yeah, we have a wide variety. We don't have a specific crowd. We have majority older crowds. You know, the busiest day is Sunday after church for brunch, which is a lot of older women. Like you said, the Runners Club. We have high school reunion parties for people doing stuff with schools. We've done, you know, stuff for athletic programs, with AAU programs, for the youth programs with people trying to support and sponsor them. We do a wide variety of a little bit of everything.
And as the live entertainment would add to your use of the business and help you out, is that correct?
Yeah, it's just minor. I mean, we do everything through a Sonos speaker right now, so just having, you know, it just spices it up a little bit more.
And how many employees do you have generally?
We have around 20.
Okay. And the people that, you have some support from people in the neighborhood, is that correct?
Yeah, a lot of support actually. We don't really have. We have problems with a few of the same people. We don't have problems from everybody in the community.
All right. I'm not further questions.
Ms. Cody, you have questions for Mr. Delaney?
Yes, I do. So this Beats and Brunch that you're often promoting on social media, does that include a DJ that comes in,
That plays live? No.
that plays music?
That plays live? No.
So this screenshot of someone actively working a DJ equipment in your space, that's not something that you do regularly on Sundays or on the evenings that you list as 7 p.m. to 11 p.m.? 80s, 90s, hip-hop, R&B, those are not,
7
never...
p.m. to 11 p.m. That was one time.
Besides...
And the active DJ, that was something that we addressed before when I went to Melbourne, and the liquor board or whatever was backed up. We couldn't get in.
So the 2 official violations for live entertainment without authorization were the only times that live DJs were in your establishment, and that you happened to be caught on those 2 days?
Objection. Hold it.
We didn't get caught the one
I don't
time.
want the characterization of having to get caught. Whether the record is the record.
Yeah, I understand.
And the one time we didn't get caught, there was a microphone that they heard that nobody admitted to nothing that was being said on the microphone but announcing drink specials.
So
We
be-
came in here and we addressed that.
We know what, we have a record of the violations, so
So,
we know.
so Beats and Brunch is not
We have
live
a Beats and
entertainment?
Brunch, and the DJ comes in and it's an autoplay. It's played by a Sonos speaker.
Okay, are you aware the two community associations that are right in that area have filed
Absolutely.
letters of opposition?
Absolutely.
Okay. And so you say that you will abide by all of the limitations that the BMZA put onto you, but are you currently following your outdoor table service usage?
That's not going to be part of this hearing. You can bring it in a protest hearing.
Have you had live music where your doors were propped, or
No,
music of any
no,
kind
no.
where your doors were propped open?
No.
There are 9
never.
violations on the record, though, where the doors were open and noise violations were called in.
We've never kept our doors open, ever. So I've had this business for 3 years. We never, if anything, I'll go and tell them, shut, if it's 5 people or 10 people holding the door, I'll personally, or he'll personally shut it.
So-
We don't do that. We don't disrespect the community at all.
So for all the letters of opposition that are in the record that are complaining about noise that can be heard
It's the
1
same
or 2
people.
2 blocks down the
It's
street?
impossible. Nobody can hear, literally, it's
There's no basis for
impossible for
that.
2 blocks down for somebody to hear music. It's like physically impossible. I, personally, if I ever come in, and he knows, if I come in and I think something is too loud, I'll walk across the street and see if I can hear it. Why, we don't, I own the building. I'm a part of the community too. If it's a problem with my building, that's me losing money. I'm going to protect my business first. So that means I'm going to help protect the community. That's what we do. I'm not going to purposely promote loud music because we get false calls all the time. So why would we keep doing it if people are going to keep coming out to us?
So you can't explain?
It's going to hurt our business.
You can't explain a basis for 9 calls being made in
Yes, I
2023?
can. We get harassed. That's the basis. We've got videos submitted that we have a house that people record us just to try to bring stuff, and they call 311 for nothing. We have the house. The person you brought behind you has harassed my manager personally. Walked up to her and told her, we're going to we know we're going to get your liquor license taken. So they're doing everything possible to try to do that. Yes, we get calls all the time.
And that's not
And
with
we respect
basis,
the community.
that's not because of the noise that you're
No.
producing? Regarding the noise that's happening from the outside, folks, are people told to come in? Do you enforce proper usage where?
Absolutely.
People making too much noise outside beyond the health code
Yeah,
ordinances?
we do as much as possible.
You're
We
bringing
can't
them
police the
inside?
community. We do as much possible as we can to eliminate everything.
This is
We-
on your premises?
Yeah, and we address it. We
And so
have a
when
U.S.
there's
Marshal
noise
who addresses it.
and there's fights breaking out, you either.
physical
you
fight?
do-
I got a
you
suggestion.
Like, what are we
You're-
talking about?
You're adding things, and when there's fights breaking, it has nothing to do with what we're asking.
Yeah, how's it staying?
All right. Okay, well, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Anything further?
I have Mr. Fitzgerald here. He'd be cumulative. He works on the premises.
I don't know that we need it.
I'm-
Okay. Commissioners have questions?
No question. No question.
Okay. Did you have anything, evidence you want to present?
Yes, I did want to call a couple people. We
Let's
had a
do it.
letter.
We got to move along.
Okay, well, we do have a letter on record from Miss Bethany, who is 10 houses away, and she did reference the events that tend to happen and go into why, whenever these events are happening, that there is an increase in disruptions. She referenced a November 19th incident and a January 18th incident, and also Mary is able to speak to those incidences as well. So I will call her.
Okay, well, step up, ma'am, please, and state your name for the record.
Yes, my name is Mary Janowick, and I live, I'm sorry? Oh, Janowiak. And I live very close to the bar and have a completely unobstructed view from my living room and bedroom, pardon me, of what goes on over there. The big problem that I have with the bar is...
You have to have questions. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so could you state how close you live to the actual bar?
She just told us that.
Okay. And then why are you here today?
I'm here because the bar has totally failed to address the overcapacity on in their outdoor dining
As I
area.
indicated, that's going to come up in another hearing. but
Okay,
go ahead.
could you speak to the noise that you experience and how frequently that occurs?
Yeah, the noise is when they have large groups gathered outside of the bar, and there are dirt bikes a lot that come back and forth, and they're obviously visiting with the people who are at the bar. There are cars that double park.
What about the live entertainment? That's what we're here for.
Well, I have witnessed, or I have heard live entertainment coming from the bar. And it seems that on the nights that they have this, of course, they're doing it to increase their business, so the crowds get bigger, and they are unable to control them and follow the capacity laws.
Okay, anything further?
If you could speak to when they do have these events, and have, actually, let's move on to the November 19th incident. Could you describe what happened?
Yeah, my husband and I were watching television. It was around maybe 9 to 10 o'clock, and we heard all of this commotion outside. And I walked out and saw people running out of the bar and down our street. There were maybe 5 or 6 different people. They were fighting, they were screaming at each other, and several of my neighbors were outside.
Is
And
this related to the music in the place somehow?
I don't know if they had music that night.
Do you have anything else, Ms. Coe?
Okay. No, I think that's it for Ms.
Okay.
Mary. And then I did want to have Brant Fisher come
Come
up.
forward, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Brant Fisher.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Could you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, I serve as the Southeast Community Relations Council President as well as the Brewers Hill Neighbors President. I've been a resident for well over 15 years, as well as 15-plus years experience in the bar industry in the Canton waterfront area.
And if you could speak to the issue of noise as to what happens right on the premises outside of this establishment?
So generally, when the Beats and Brunch takes place, normally on the weekends on a Sunday, it develops large overcrowding, which I do have video evidence here if you'd like to review.
So I just want to hear about the live
Okay,
entertainment.
I just want to let you know I have evidence.
I don't know how many times I have to say it.
Right, but with the outdoor area becomes overcrowded when these events take place, which then spills out into the street, and we have noise that takes place in that section.
Do you have anything else on live entertainment?
Well, so the point that I guess we're trying to make is that when it's not a hypothetical situation, we have had live entertainment happen, at least on 2 occasions on record, and there is an increase in noise. And so this is not a hypothetical situation. We really are asking for 1 hour earlier than what BMZA recommended, because on weeknights only, because these people live here, they have children that need to get to bed, and when the last song ends, there's going to be just a lot of crowds that are gathering there, and the noise gets very loud at that time. And so if we're seeing 11 p.m. close to the
Mr. Delaney said
music,
he stops it at 10.
well,
We
it's,
don't, we did weekdays one time. We don't, the Beats and Brunch is Sunday, and it's 12 to 5. We never, what they're talking about has nothing to do with what we're doing. We had 2 large crowds. It was on the bar anniversary.
I don't want to hear about the crowds either.
Yeah, we don't go to that extreme.
so the reason we're here is because it's better to try to work out some conditions on this live entertainment rather than to try to help with the noise late at night, rather than trying to protest the renewal of their entire license. And we've been trying to get them to the table to negotiate an MOU just for that 1 hour difference and just for proper use of just doing what they're already supposed to do, using that outdoor space properly, because it does contribute to noise.
So you're suggesting that if they were to agree during the weekday to stop at 10,
Yes.
you wouldn't file a protest of renewal?
And if they, yes, and if they agreed to use their outdoor capacity properly. They're not serving, it's not outdoor table service, it's like a nightclub environment out there on a regular basis.
Well, I don't know if you want to negotiate or not. They're not indicating.
I mean, we could come back here for protest of renewal, but,
Well,
you
then you
know.
can come back. I mean, don't threaten people.
No, I'm just saying, that's where the community is.
We would agree to, we don't mind working with the community, but they're not gonna dictate what we do. And this is it's turned to a dictation. Like, we sit down and we'll talk to them, we'll do whatever, but to tell us we're gonna support y'all if you agree to something, or we're gonna go against you when you do, like, for us, that just put us in the corner. It's like,
Well, I don't know about the rhetoric, but I will say this from our perspective, and I don't mean to speak for the other commissioners, but if you do have serious outdoor issues with people who are congregating, and if you do have loud dirt bike issues and things on a protest, you may have serious problems here.
Yeah.
So it'd be to your benefit to try to work something out with them about that. But today, I'm here on the live entertainment issue alone, and we will come back on the other unless you can resolve the other. It could be to your benefit to try to resolve the other, but it's your business.
Yeah, I mean,
If
we
you
don't
want-
mind doing it. Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll just wrap up, is that I think we went ad nauseum at the zoning board, went through all this, and the gentleman here testifying. I think the board addressed it 6 to 11, that's what they're stuck with, and that's what they will.
I understand on this issue, but
Right.
I'm just suggesting there are other issues.
I understand.
Okay. Okay, anything further?
So again, I mean, I do have two conditions. It's literally the 1 hour and the capacity, just enforcing the capacity that's in the outdoor seating area. That's literally the only 2 points that we came asking for. And so we would ask for those conditions to be placed on this live entertainment addition to the license, and the community is satisfied in that. And we have not been able to get them to sign an MOU just to that effect.
I understand that. I don't quite understand your issue. The live entertainment occurs indoors and it's closed.
It's indoors. When they've had music in the past, the doors have been open and
But they
the
can't
sound
do that
carries.
anymore if they did, because the zoning board told them they can't.
Yeah, but the issue from the community's point of view is that they're always the ones, they have the burden of calling these things in because they're not operating their establishment properly. And again, this will come up with protest of renewal, and we understand that. But rather than do that, if we can ask for them to.
Doesn't sound like they're interested.
Yeah, so that's what we're here trying to see if we can
Okay.
do.
I think they'd be wise to talk to you, but that's their job, their determination. Okay, commissioners have questions?
Yeah, is the establishment within 200 feet of the community?
Yes, in the map, it's right across Fleet Street from numerous residences. There's row homes, and there's a whole apartment building right within 200 feet. It's in the immediate vicinity. So it's actually right on the edge of their C1 zoning, and then R8 zoning is just to the south of it. It's all row
I think
homes.
Ms. Genoa said she testified she lives across the street.
Yeah.
I have no questions.
It's 120 feet from the bar.
Okay. All right, thank you, folks. On the basis then of the materials contained in the application, which includes the conclusions and recommendations from the Board of Zoning Commissioners, the testimony received today, I vote to approve the application to add live entertainment and delivery of alcoholic beverages to this BG7 beer, wine, and liquor license, subject to the limitations that were imposed by the zoning board and which will be made part of the license by the liquor board as well.
Yes, based on material and from the BMZA testimony provided today, I also vote to approve the request to add live entertainment and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Based on the application materials and the testimony received today, I also vote to approve this request to add live entertainment and delivery of alcoholic beverages to this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, subject to the adherence to the zoning board restrictions.
Ms. Russell?
Like all exhibits for the record. Exhibit number 1, Community Law Center hearing outline. 2, petitions of opposition. 3, letter from Baltimore State Police Department in opposition dated 1/15/25. 4, letter from Councilman Parker in opposition dated 1/14/25. 5, letter from Highlandtown Community Association in opposition dated 1/15/25. 6, letter from Councilman Cohen in opposition dated 1/15/25. 7, letter from Brewers Hill Neighbors, Inc. in opposition dated 3/21/25. 8 through 10, 3 letters of opposition from community. 11, BMZA ruling, and 12, petition of support.
All right, thank you, folks. Let me just say this one last thing. You can file your protest, and you can fight it. We're going to end up back here with half the city council and the neighborhood and everybody else arguing against you. I think everybody here would be well-served to take a deep breath, exhale, and forget all the rhetoric they've heard before, and use the services of our community liaison. Try to resolve those issues on a reasonable basis before you have to fight them out. But it's up to you.
My
Okay.
only problem is that, and that is for the record, is that the president of the city council and the council never make an attempt to talk to the licensee. They take their, whoever they want to support. These are
I
not
understand.
second-hand citizens, and they're entitled to it. And then if the day comes, then they'll have to.
Well, invite their representatives to your meeting.
If I may,
If they show up.
Well,
if I may, the councilman's letter is based off his own physical.
maybe,
findings.
I don't know. But I'm just saying, I envision,
not a joke, it's
I
just the
envision a
reality.
dogfight that's unnecessary, you know. But anyway, it's up to you all. Okay, thank you.
All right, there being no further business before this board, the board is in recess until Thursday, April 17, 2025, at 10:30 a.m. We are adjourned.
Thank you. Have a good day.